So I built an antenna. Well, I didn't build an antenna. I bought an antenna. I built a mast out of PVC. I haven't set it up yet. I have no idea if I did it right or not. Of course, right is kind of relative because I didn't really follow anybody's plan. I just kind of made something up, and so I guess it's kind of the ultimate homebrew. Let's go find out how I did. So before we go outside, I want to show you a little bit about the mast that I built. You remember the pack? That's my go bag there, my go box inside, and you can see I've added something to it. So there's this PVC on the side. So we'll set that up once we get outside. But what I want to show you is what I did with this piece. So let's go take a look at that. Ah yes, Harbor Freight, your ham radio operator's favorite store. Okay, so what I did here is I've just got 4 lengths of PVC pipe. The mast isn't going to be real tall, probably, I don't know, 8-9 feet tall, something like that. But this is the magic piece right here. So I got a coupler and I got a cap to put on top of the coupler where I could screw this in, and just using paracord, this is just 550 cord, you can see 2 knots sticking out of there. Well, that goes down in here and makes a loop. So what I did was I took that loop, that paracord loop that's stuck in there, it's being held by those knots right there, and then I put a Velcro cable tie strap on it. And what'll happen is the antenna that I'm putting in here, it's an Edfong portable J-pole dual band antenna. It will be suspended from this down the length of the pole to probably about 1.5 meters, something like that. Not quite that long. And the reason I did it this way is because in the instructions that come with Edfong's antenna, and in fact any ham radio operator will tell you, don't get metal that's not part of the antenna too close to the antenna, because it can cause some weird propagation issues. So this is a metal-free suspension system for the antenna inside the tube. So let's go set this thing up. This is heavy. Fortunately, I'm only going as far as my backyard. So, let's see what we have here. Okay, so we've got the mast itself. I haven't decided if I'm going to make a platform for this yet or not for it to stand on. Right now, I'm just going to kind of balance it on the ground and let some guy ropes hold it in place. I'm sure I'll regret that at some point in the near future, but for now, let's just see how this goes. I've got the antenna, and let's see what else. Ah yes, very important. Rope. That's going to be my guy rope right there. It's all one piece. I'm going to need a knife. Ooh, I'm going to need tent stakes. And as if by magic, I have my knife and my tent stakes. That actually took about 10 minutes, and I had to dig in one of my closets. And okay, so let's set this thing up. Knife. My paracord here. Now, the first thing I have to remember to do is attach the antenna because while I did think about having the antenna hang along the outside of the mast, I decided to go ahead and try it on the inside first, because I have another Ed Fong antenna that is intended to be inside PVC. I've had it for 4 years and it's been working great the entire time. So I don't think that I will have too much diminishment of transmission or reception, but you know, we'll see. I may also add the option of hanging it on the outside later. Who knows? So anyhow, first, let's get this thing attached. All right, let's see how this goes. So I'll take the antenna out, and this is the antenna, and this comes with the Ed Fong antenna. And I'm going to undo the cable tie here. If I can figure out where it starts. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to string this through. Now you are seeing right along with me if this works for the very first time, because this is the first time I have done this. And I am trusting that that is going to hold the antenna up. Oh yeah, that's not a lot of weight at all. So now I'll have to thread the antenna through this and all the other pieces of the PVC. So let me do that. Okay, so here it is. That's the top. We go down, the antenna ends right about there and just turns into cable. And the reason why it's important that I tell you that is because this is where I'm going to hook up the guy lines right there. And you'll notice that's metal. So I want to keep metal away from, or out of the path of the antenna basically. And then go down one more segment, and then finally, right there where my cable is coming out, and I've already noticed my first problem. I need to either put a notch in there so I'm not pinching that cable off, or I need to come up with a platform system. So here's the plan. First of all, behold all the dead grass and mourn it. It's summer in Central Texas. You never get used to it though. Anyway, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a tent stake out somewhere around where the rope is right now. And then I am going to run it to the antenna. And then I'm going to put another one down at 120 degrees over here somewhere. And then tie that up to the antenna. Then I'll actually, I'll tie both ropes up to the antenna and let it lean as I put the third one, the third guy line into the ground over here, and then run it up. Let's see how that goes. Maggie, you okay? You all right over there? I heard you cough. You good? All right. All right, and with no sweat on your part, which is the greatest part of YouTube, I've got it set up. Went basically how I thought it would. Had to reposition the spikes a couple times, the tent posts, just to get everything nice and straight, but seemed to work out pretty well. You may notice that a couple of the tent stakes are not all the way in the ground. That's because about 6 inches under Central Texas soil is solid rock. So now let's hook that thing up and see if we can get a signal. So apparently we got rid of all of our folding chairs in our house. So I'm going to be sitting on that. Let's set that up. And remind me to invest in more folding chairs. All right, I've already got it set up and turned on. Plugged into the antenna right there, which remember is inside of this thing. So first I'm just going to see if I can key the repeater. Hey, all right. Now let's see if anybody's out there. K5 HRV. it's the middle of a work day. I'm actually taking the day off from work today so that I could do this. So I'm not surprised that nobody's out there. But I'm hitting the repeater. I know that using this radio and this antenna, I've had no problems hitting this and a number of other repeaters up in the Central Texas area. No problems whatsoever. And now it's just inside a piece of PVC, but that shouldn't present a problem at all. And now I'm truly, truly portable because I, as you saw at the beginning of the video, can put this whole rig inside that. Back into the air conditioning. Do you have a good time, Maggie? Yay. Thank you for helping me. So, I think it's going to work out. I think the concept is fairly basic and workable. Yeah, there are a few things that I need to work on, like some way of getting the cable out of the bottom of the antenna without having to notch the bottom PVC pipe. I'll probably use a 3-way PVC connector or something along those lines for that. Just need to make sure that I don't pinch or otherwise damage the cable. Getting the guy lines up was pretty easy. A little bit of trial and error, but now I've got that experience under my belt and 3 pieces of rope that are about the right length if I'm setting up on flat terrain, don't have rocks or boulders or something like that that I have to contend with. So like, subscribe, and very importantly, comment. I'm interested to hear and learn from you about better ways that you might be able to think of in order to do this. See you next time.